Russia is looking to buy warships from China, which shows that China and Russia are working together even more. Russian news outlets have said that China's shipbuilding is both quick and good. Let's learn more about this subject. Many important shipbuilding businesses moved to Ukraine when the Soviet Union broke up. This left Russia's shipbuilding industry in decline, which hasn't gotten much better since then. There isn't enough shipbuilding capacity in Russia, which has slowed down the growth of the Navy and caused a big delay in making new ships. In the past few years, many people in Russia, including members of the public and government, have suggested that the Russian Navy buy boats from Chinese suppliers. Russia has never tried to do something like this before, but the Russian newspaper, Business, broke some big news. It is being thought about that Russia might buy 2 big hospital ships from China. Sergei Shoigu, the Russian defense minister, supports the idea. The Russian Ministry of Economic Development, on the other hand, had doubts about the plan. Why does Russia want to buy warships from China? China might be willing to sell these ships. Why does the Russian Ministry of Economic Development think something different? China didn't start industrializing until a pretty late date. China relied on technology from the Soviet Union a lot in the early years of the People's Republic. The help from the Soviet Union was very important in building up China's military. China often bought Russian military gear, like the Su-35 fighter planes and different types of jet engines, even after the Soviet Union broke up. China's J-20 fighter is now active, making it the second country in the world, after the US, to have a 5th-generation fighter. This means that China has surpassed Russia in some ways. According to stories, the early Chinese Navy spent a lot of money buying decommissioned Soviet boats. Each warship was said to have cost 17 tons of gold. The Chinese Navy built its large surface fleet around these ships, which were the first of many. China's defense weapons has gone from being hard to find to being top-notch over time. Russia is now thinking about buying warships from China, which shows how far the country has come in making ships. Russia's economy, which depends a lot on exporting oil and weapons, has been hurt by long-term bans from the West. Russia's economy has been getting worse over the past few years, making it harder for the country to build and operate big naval ships. Due to limited funds, the Russian military has had a hard time building up its surface force. Russia's only aircraft carrier is still being fixed up, a process that has been going on for 4 years. 2 of the Navy's 5 cruisers, both Kirov-class, have been having repairs for 9 years with no date set for completion. Even the battlecruiser Peter the Great, which is the pride of the Russian military, has been getting worse. During the war between Russia and Ukraine, the Moskva cruiser sank. Because of this, the Russian Navy is severely lacking in surface ships and needs to update its entire fleet. Russia, which has the second largest military in the world, probably won't buy any US equipment, but it also can't make everything itself. Because of this, some people in Russia want to order submarines from China. Because Russian ships work slowly, some Russian business leaders have suggested that they send some of their engineering work to Chinese yards. Chinese yards are known for being fast and good. Naval groups are made up of more than just battleships and subs. They also have support ships like hospital and supply ships. The Peace Ark, Asia's biggest and only hospital ship, was built by Chinese builders for the Chinese Navy. One question is why Russia doesn't order ships that aren't used for battle from China. These ideas from Russian media seem more useful than those from some Chinese internet users. Different armies have different needs for combat ships, and Russia may not be able to use the same tactical ideas for Chinese combat ships. But support ships, like hospital ships and supply ships, are more or less the same and don't cause as many problems. It's possible that ordering these support ships from China won't put much mental pressure on the Russian military. Sergei Shoigu, the defense minister, agreed with this idea and suggested that 2 private roll-on, roll-off, RORO, ships be bought from China and converted into hospital ships. Shoigu also said that if the order was made right away, the 2 RORO ships could be converted in just 3 years. He even suggested that one of them be named Andreevsky. That being said, the main problem is not the 8 billion ruble military budget. It is the Ministry of Economic Development's desire to keep jobs and investments in Russia. Still, Shoigu said that they couldn't wait more than 5 years for a hospital ship. It would not only be very expensive to build these ships in Russian ports, but it would also not be a good use of money. Russia's economy makes it hard to spend extra money to build these ships in the country, and most of the delays at the port are caused by not having enough money. Being dependent on China now, when China used to buy arms from Russia, could be seen as a loss of face for Russia. It could also be seen as a statement that Russia's shipbuilding technology isn't as good as China's. It's not just about Russia's image, it could also affect the arms trade between the two countries. It makes sense that other countries would start buying weapons straight from China if Russia lets China build its ships. This is why some Russians are hesitant to buy warships made in China. The Russian Navy only has 3 hospital ships left, and they are all from the Soviet era. They desperately need more support ships. Even though most factories from the Soviet era are still in Russia, they can't meet the needs of the Russian Navy anymore. China's hospital ships, on the other hand, are made to military standards and use modern technologies to reduce noise and vibrations, making sure that trips are smooth and quiet. They work like modern hospitals that move on the water. China launched the South Medical 13, a next-generation hospital ship, a few years ago. It was sent to the Yangshu Reef military port in the Nansha Islands. The South Medical 13 will make healthcare much better for both military and civilian staff at Yangshu Reef. It will also help with relief missions, cleaning up nuclear waste, and other emergency rescue missions. The ship was designed and built in China. It has medical staff from the PLA's Southern Theater Command and a variety of medical services, such as surgery, and care, mental health therapy, and internal medicine. It has almost 100 beds, so it can handle 3 surgeries at the same time. In the past few years, China's marine rescue capabilities have gotten a lot better. Along the southern coast, a combined rescue system has been set up. Hospital ships can also carry rescue planes, which makes it much easier to get help in an emergency. Compared to advanced battleships, hospital ships aren't very high-tech, but they're a good example of China's Navy, which helps it gain power and build relationships around the world. This is a big reason why Russia wants to buy things from China. In the end, the deal for the hospital ship is more than just a trade, it's a way for the two countries to work together more closely. In addition, this possible deal is part of a larger trend in Sino-Russian relations. Both countries are working together more and more to get around Western restrictions and boost their own industries. These deals also give China a chance to show the world its growing military and economic power. China's progress in shipbuilding shows its general progress in production and innovation. It has become a big player in both the military and civilian maritime industries around the world. China and Russia are working together more and more because they have similar strategic goals. Both countries are under a lot of pressure from the West, and this relationship is a way for them to balance each other out. China and Russia send a message of unity by working together more militarily. They show that they have options besides Western tools and relationships. This cooperation goes beyond military powers and shows a wider alignment of strategy goals, such as working together on technology and the economy. Thanks for seeing it. Until the next time.